Hey, welcome to Eepa's Kitchen. So today we had a pivot because earlier we were going to do a big indoor production. And as you can see by the photos popping up, this was Sunday and this is why we were going to do it. But today it became 65 degrees and mostly sunny and warm. So we're going to do pizzas outside today. So because of that, I kind of just went through the pantry, fridge. We picked up a couple little things. So we're going to just kind of do a couple of pizzas based on what we had in the house. We'll go through some of the ingredients real quick for both of them. I'm not going to tell you which one goes in which. We'll figure that out when we start doing it. We've got some pizza dough. I rolled those out already because really, who wants to sit around and watch me roll dough for 30 minutes? So it's already rolled. So we got our dough. We got a little cornmeal. We're going to need that to slide stuff. Got some basil, oregano, red pepper, artichoke hearts. Awesome. Quartered, ready to go. Some fresh red pepper, jalapenos, red onions, fresh basil off the fresh basil plant. Where did I leave off? Parmesan cheese, pizza sauce, shaved Parmesan cheese, Asiago cheese, arugula. It's a vegetable. We've got a mix of provolone and mozzarella, some mushrooms, and prosciutto. That's for Derek. I think, oh, and some salt. Did I say olive oil? I got olive oil. I think that's everything. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start putting these together. I've got the stone already on the grill. It's already at a little over 500. We'll go out there and take a look. You got to cut me some slack on the outdoor kitchen. It's still because the weather's been crappy. We haven't set everything up, so we're just going to kind of throw things around until we figure it out. All right, so let's get going. Okay, so I already told you we rolled the dough out and then we took a fork and we poked holes in it. There's a tool that I've used in the past, and Derek has a lot of pizza experience, that you roll across it. And I asked him if you remember the name, and he said it's the pizza poking hole roller thing device. That's the technical name for it. So if you're looking for one, just Google that. I don't have one. So we're going to put a little bit of cornmeal down. This is important because it'll help the the pizza crust slide off the board and onto the stone outside. If you have a pizza peel, you would just build it on the peel. Again, I don't have a peel, but I do know the name. So, all right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some pizza sauce. You can make your own, which we have. This is not one I made. This is stuff that I had in a can. I really enjoy this one. It's got great flavor. I'm going to give a shout out to Pastorelli's because they do a nice job. And it's nice to have this in your pantry for days like today where you have an emergency pizza, and we all have had emergency pizzas we need to make. Sometimes you get home late on a Friday night after work. You don't feel like cooking. There's a frozen one in the fridge. Bam, add a little bit of extra pastorellis on the top, some cheese, bunch of stuff you got laying around in the fridge and or pantry, and you've got yourself a doctored up frozen pizza. But in this case, we'll use it for this one. You want to get the sauce just about to the edge. You want to leave about a 1/4 inch or so. Smooth that out a little bit. All right. So for this, we're going to do the 4 cheeses, or quattro formaggi. That's for Derek. So I got the mixed cheese. This is the provolone and mozzarella. I'm going to put that on. Spread that around. We're going to use all of that on this one. Try to keep it off the board, because again, anything that goes on the board will prevent you from sliding onto the pizza stone outside. You can also do this in your oven if you want. I prefer not to. I'd rather do it outside. The whole process is a little easier. I'm going to steal this mozzarella from this other jar. So we got a nice coverage. All right. We're going to take some of this Asiago. We're going to use some of this on the other pizza too. We're going to use a little bit here. For our third cheese. And then a little bit of the grated Parmesan that we did. Again, this was all just stuff that was laying around in the fridge we decided to use up. All right. Pretty good coverage, not too many bare spots. And then we're going to add our prosciutto. Now you can do this a couple of ways. You can just cook this like this, bring it in, and finish it with the prosciutto on top afterwards. Or you can put it on while it's out on the grill. Management likes it a little bit more once it's been heated, so I changed it up a little bit. We're going to put it on now. And when we finish this, we're going to make a nice little arugula salad to toss onto the top. Definitely a great light pizza to eat. It's got that saltiness from the prosciutto, that pepperiness that we're going to get from the arugula. Great flavors in this one. All right. Well, that's it. We're going to take it outside. We'll slide it out onto the pizza stone, let it cook for about 10 minutes or so. That's all it really takes because it's pretty hot out there. We'll bring it back in and we'll do the other one. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of cornmeal down on the pizza stone. Again, it just helps it slide a little bit. It acts like little ball bearings. And it's going to turn black, so don't sweat it out. All right, we'll get our pizza. I'm going to get it. We'll use the big spatula. We'll help slide it on. So we get right to the edge there. Use the spatula just to kind of ease it into place. Boom. Go ahead and we're going to cover it up. We'll come back and check it in about 5 minutes. Maybe turn it a little bit. But it's probably going to take 10 to 12 minutes for it to get all the way done. All right? So while the other pizza's out there cooking, we're going to get the other one started. I talked about how we poked holes in this with a fork, but I failed to mention why. It's to prevent from getting a lot of those big blisters that come out, or as some people in my family refer to them as goiters. It keeps it from getting those big bubbles on there. You're still going to get a few. I mean, it's just going to happen. But it keeps the crust a little bit more flat. So on this one, we're going to go ahead and start out with the sauce. Spread that around. We already talked a lot about how great this sauce is. This pizza is going to be all veggies because that's what we have. And a lot of cheese. Fair enough on that. Just going to wipe the board. I got a little bit of pizza sauce there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put just the straight mozzarella that we had. I like this thicker cut. I think they might even call it a pizza grated cheese. I didn't grate the mozzarella. But you can. It's a little bit thicker than that thin mozzarella that you can buy. All right. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit more Asiago. It adds a really nice added flavor. I really like Asiago on here. And we had it. And then we're going to put a little bit of that, a little more of that Parmesan. Probably not all of it, but some of it. There we go. All right. And now the veggies. We've got these artichoke hearts. Just bought a can of them. Well, we had a can of them. And they're quartered. You lay them on here. And those of you that saw the baked artichoke recipe know that I do love artichokes. All right. Got that. And then we had some red pepper in the fridge, so I sliced up. This is half a red pepper. We're probably not going to use all of it. You can use roasted red peppers. Those are really nice on pizza. But this was fresh, and it's delicious. And we had it, so we're using it. All right. And we have some red onion. Who doesn't love red onion? Throw that on there. That one to the side. There we go. Oops, maybe one more over here. All right. And we have some jalapeno. Oh, wait, let's do that last. We'll do the mushrooms next. Wasn't going to do mushroom, and then I happened to open the crisper drawer, and there was a couple of packages of mushrooms in there. I'm not sure what we were going to do with these. But now they're on a pizza. Use whatever you want, whatever you like, obviously. Let me know what you like on your pizzas. One more. All right. Mushrooms. And now the jalapenos. And this is just because we had some jalapeno, and I like spice. And the nice thing with this is you can pick this off if, you get a slice and you're not a big fan of the spicy stuff. It's not buried in there. What do you think, Derek? That enough? Maybe one more over here?
Maybe one more.
Okay. All right. We're going to save the basil for later. We're going to put a little bit of basil and oregano. Just add some flavor. And then some olive oil over the top. Just a little drizzle. Maybe. I don't have my squeeze bottle, so I'm going to do it like this. All right, that should be good. All right, let's go outside and check that other pizza. See where we're at on it. And come back in and we'll get this one. All right, so we're still at about 475. Oh, look at that. We are good to go here. Just kind of look at the bottom. It's already nice and toasted up a little bit. Everything is melted. That cheese is beautiful. Look at the prosciutto. It's already getting a little crisp. Management's going to love it. Can you see it bubbling? Look at that. There's for my production guy right there. Look at that bubbly cheese. That's nice. All right, we're going to pull it off. So just give it a good scoop. We've got this pan here to bring it in on. You can see it did brown up a little bit of that cornmeal. So again, don't freak out about it. That's what it does. All right, we're going to close that, let it heat up a little bit. We'll come back out with the other one. When you pull these in, that's warm on the bottom. You're going to want them set up for about 5 minutes or so before you start cutting into them. 5 to 10 minutes is perfect. It just lets them set up. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to dress it with that arugula. All right? All right, let's put this other guy on here. Let's see if we can get this one on as smooth as the last one. Which I was pretty impressed with myself, how smoothly it went on. So that means this one probably won't. Look at there. It's already catching a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's 2. I win. All right, we'll be back in a bit. All right. All right, so the other pizza is just about done. We're going to go ahead and finish this one up. We're going to take our arugula. Actually, you know what I think we'll do is we'll drizzle a little olive oil on it first. Not too much. And then we're going to place it right in the center. There we go. A little bit of sea salt. And some of the shaved Parmesan. You got your pizza and salad all in one. We are good to go on this second pizza. We give it a little peek at the bottom. See that? And you can see a little bit of those little bubbly things I was talking about around the edges. Not so bad as long as we don't have them everywhere and they're not this big. So the veggies look like they're cooked enough. Yes. I think we're good. Yep, got a little bit of bubbling going on there. All right, we'll pull this guy off and bring it in, let it sit for a few, and we'll get it cut. So one of the things you want to remember with your pizza stone, it's 500 degrees. Leave it alone. Just leave it sit out here. Come back and get it tomorrow. All right, you want it to cool down before you try and take it in. You don't need to wash it, just brush it off. Store it wherever you store it. It's the same thing when you're heating up your grill. Put it on, turn the grill on, let it heat up with the grill. You don't want to have it out here when it's ice cold either. You want it to, already be like room temperature, because that's what'll happen. They'll crack, and I've done that a few times. So just be careful. Put it on, start your grill, turn it off, let it sit. I'll come out tomorrow when I go to cover the grill up. We'll brush it off, we'll put it away. Be ready to use the next time. All right, we're going to finish off our veggie pizza since it's sat. Just a little bit of red pepper. Again, I like the spice. You don't have to put all this on with the jalapenos, but we're doing it anyway. And we definitely need to grow more peppers this year because we're running low. And then a little bit of this fresh basil. I tore up some pieces earlier. Just want to sprinkle a little around. One more level of flavor. Which you're not going to get at most local pizza places, but you will get it at home. All right, we'll cut this one. Told Derek we need to get one of those really big pizza knives, and he told me the name of it, something about a big knife thingy, sharp, choppy thing. It's a name that they use in the pizza restaurants. So when you're looking for those, that's the name you're looking for. Makes it easier to cut when you got all these veggies on. All right, we're cut. We're gonna grab some plates. We're gonna eat because I really haven't eaten today. And we'll get management to have some a little bit too. All right, we'll see you at the table. All right, drink of the day to go with our pizzas is the Coconut Paloma, not to be confused with the non-coconut Paloma. It's a nice weather day, so we're gonna make it. It's grape juice that I freshly squeezed some grapefruits. Tequila, which we all love around here. Some Malibu rum, ice. We've got a little bit of coconut for the rim, a little bit of honey to get it to stick. So we're going to start out, we're going to take our glasses and just kind of rub them in the honey a little bit to get them sticky. Put them in the coconut. Beautiful. Look at that, a little arugula. Another one. All right. We're going to add a little bit of ice to our shaker. So the recipe is an ounce of Malibu, ounce and a half of the tequila, and 3 ounces of grapefruit. I'm going to do one at a time just because I don't think I can do 2 in there at once. So I think my shaker's a tad small for that size. Top on. We'll shake it up. Get it nice and chilled. All right. Add a little ice to the cup. Throw ice all over the counter because that's what I do now. And we'll strain it into the cup. Oh, I can already smell the coconut. It smells really good. And we'll garnish it with a little slice of grapefruit. This will go well with our beautiful weather we're having today. There we go. I'm going to take a sip before Derek gets his. Oh, that's really good. If you don't like a lot of coconut, you don't have to put it on. But the honey on the rim with the coconut's really good. And the grapefruit juice. All right. I'll make Derek's drink. We'll cut the pizzas up in a sec and then we'll eat. So we're going to go ahead and dig into these. Management's going to join us in a minute, but I don't think we're going to get her on camera. So we'll go ahead and try this. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the one with the arugula.
All right. Mine went everywhere, along with my napkin. What's your thought? So I know you haven't had this one before.
The prosciutto adds like a nice, like saltiness to it. That the sea salt, like also adds salt, but not in the same way. And it has like a nice texture to it. When you compound that with the arugula and that little bit of olive oil, it just ties everything together really well.
Yeah, the peppery flavor of the arugula kind of just mixes everything together. You're right. The prosciutto is really nice and thin. It's a little crisp.
Mm-hmm. It has a nice little bit of crunch to it.
Mm-hmm. Salty. I love that prosciutto. So, all right, let's give this other one a shot. There's the jalapeno.
Mm-hmm.
I like how crispy the crust is.
Mm-hmm.
That one turned out really good.
The onion has a nice like bite to it that's contrasting the jalapeno kind of spice. You get the sweetness of the red pepper.
Oh. The earthiness of the mushrooms. Got that little bit of basil that pops in there. I love the artichokes. They're a little salty, so they're good there. I like this because it did fluff up a little bit. The the crust did.
Yeah.
So it's not just a big dry hunk. There's some moisture in there. Yeah, this turned out good. And the mixture of the cheeses, I like a lot of different cheeses. I don't like just one cheese. So that worked out really well for me. You good?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I want to keep eating, but we got to try our drinks.
All right,
So.
let's do this. Nice job today.
Nice job.
Inside and outside. All right, I'm going to have to use a straw for a while. I already tried it, so what do you think?
I'm not always the biggest coconut fan. I normally go for more of like a coconut water.
Mm-hmm.
But you were right. The coconut mixed with the honey, it's just like that kind of, it eases you into the drink. It's really good.
Yep. So like management was saying, she likes pina coladas and all that kind of stuff, but doesn't like the coconut on her. So you don't have to do the coconut. The grapefruit is my favorite. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of drinks we do with grapefruit. This is just a variation of one of them that I really like. So I'm thinking this is a keeper. Both the pizzas are keepers. If I make these pizzas again, they probably won't be the same way because a lot of it just depends on what's around. We've got a few standard recipes that we like, things we like to make. But again, the nice thing about these is if you keep some pre-made dough in the freezer, a lot of times you can buy it fresh at the deli or your local grocery store. If you have that around, when you have a day like this, you pull that out early in the morning, just let it sit on the counter and thaw out. You want the dough to kind of be warm before you start working with it. We didn't really get into all that while we were doing it, but the dough, you want it to kind of warm up so it stretches real nice. You have this stuff, you put it together. I mean, prep time was a little bit, but you can get yourself a pizza ready to go and done in under an hour. I mean, what happens when you put one in the freezer? You come home from work, you turn on the oven, by the time it heats up, then you put the frozen one in there. You're 35, 40 minutes in. You're better off just doing this. You get a much better product. And, you made it, so it's what you want. It's not whatever the guy on the box decided to do. So, again, I have no problem with frozen pizzas. We do them around here, too. So, I think these turned out well. I'd really love to hear from you guys once you see it, what you think about them, what you liked, no, I don't care about what you didn't like. Remember, I told you about that stuff. But what you like, what you change, what you'd add, what type of toppings you like on your pizzas, because there's a whole bunch more that we do. There's black olives, there's tomatoes, there's broccoli, there's whatever. So let us know what you do. We do some white pizzas. Maybe we'll try to get one of those. There's a barbecue pizza we really like around here. We'll try. But let us know what you like to do on your pizzas. But either way, please like, subscribe, share. If you find it out there on social media somewhere, maybe it's on Instagram, maybe it's on Facebook, maybe it's on someday on TikTok. I'm looking at you, production.
Editing, Derek.
Looking at you, production. So if you see it out there, give us a share, give us a like. Either way, thanks for being here, and hopefully we'll see you back here real soon. So from Eepa's Kitchen, Derek and I, have a great one.